Hello, my name is Cassius Aurelius Emili Septimus Argentia Rufus, and I'll be your guide for the bath complex at Aquae Sulis. You can call me Brian for short. A brief history of the baths is that the Celts were already living in Britannia at the time, and they already regarded a spring as sacred. But then the Romans came along and they seized control of Britannia, eventually creating the bath complex at Aquae Sulis around 70 CE. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know where you are, you're at the town of Aquae Sulis under the modern city of Bath in the valley of the river Avon. Welcome to the Baths of Aquae Sulis. Hopefully you paid a small entrance fee at the beginning of the baths. We'll be starting our tour with the Palaestra. Here you could wrestle with one of your friends and get dirty, or you could just throw a large ball to one of your friends and you could jump up and catch it. In addition to that, you could run, and with that running, you could add a disc to make it spicy. You could also fence with wooden swords, and as you can see, you require a friend for most of these activities, as the baths was a social place. Hopefully, you got nice and sweaty at the Palaestra. We'll be moving on to the apoditerium, or the changing room. Here, you would hand over your clothes to a trusty slave, as these were very common and your belongings get stolen very easily. After you've gotten changed in the apoditerium, we'll be moving along to the tepidarium, or the warm room. Here you could just take a relaxing dip in the warm pool, or you could just sit on the benches on the side of the walls and talk to one of your friends. But this would get you ready for one of the hotter rooms coming up ahead, the caldarium, or the hot room of the baths. Here there's a large marble tub at the end of the room which was filled with hot water. This water was filled by the hypocaust system, which we'll get into detail later on. We highly recommend that you wear wooden sandals on the bottom of your feet as to prevent them from burning, but if you like your feet nice and crispy like bacon, be my guest. You could also jump around occasionally, but that is very inconvenient. You might be wondering, how are the baths heated again? Well, we mentioned the hypocaust system, and this was a furnace that was constantly being fed by slaves, the most common fuel being wood. This room was stacked on top of these piles known as pili, and this would elevate the room so hot air could flow underneath. This hot air would also go up the room through tubuli, heating the room. Welcome to the laconicum, or the dry sweating room of the baths. Here you can just sit on one of the benches and enjoy the heat, or you could call one of your slaves and they would place you on a marble table and rub you down with olive oil. Then they would get a blunt scraper known as a strigil and remove all the dirt and oil from your body. Moving along, we'll be coming to the frigidarium, or the cold room. This is a circular, shallow pool with a bench going all around. Welcome to my favorite part of the baths, or the natatio. This was a high-ceiling room and was very long. Here you could enjoy snacks or food such as pork chops, ribs, fruits, and sometimes oysters. Or you could just enjoy having a nice swim in a very long body of water. You might be asking, how did the water even come to the natatio? Well, lead pipes leading from the hot spring came into natatio, specifically the sacred spring, which the Romans believed to be a passage to the underworld. People did many things at the sacred spring. These things included praying to the goddess Sulis by giving her offerings such as jewelry, money, or necklaces. Some people even wrote on lead tablets as they were soft to write on, and they would write curses asking for their belongings to come back for thieves, or just in general cursing someone. Our final destination is going to be the temple. This was built on a mound of earth to elevate it higher than any buildings around. There was a colored face, or the front of the building, that was held up by 4 columns. Here, you could also watch priests give sacrifices such as a cow, a pig, or sheep, but don't get too attached as they will end soon. Thanks for coming to the baths, and you don't have to do anything in a particular order, but it's just what I find most convenient.